Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my warmest greetings to you. I hope you're doing extremely well. Your two friendly neighborhood wizards are back. Today we're going to have a conversation about attacks and interference. So I hope you find our conversation beneficial to you and that you thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I think everyone gets attacked. So shall we protect ourselves now with our normal? Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
it's interesting. The past 3 weeks or 1 month has been heavy.
Definitely.
Now, as far as I'm aware, there's been a wave of correction going through this universe. Many evil beings, many beings that are self serving, causing harm to the rest, have been purged. Now, of course, one wave is never enough, and there's a reason for this. Sometimes a being is acting without free will, they're acting under duress, so they have a valid excuse not to be purged. Now, the surprising thing is, once the upper management or the really bad ones are removed, some of these that now have free will wish to take their place. And so that would be what's behind the wave of interference that many of us have faced. I think both of us here have experienced this in many different ways.
Definitely.
So, one of the ways that interference and attacks would happen would be the direct approach. If a certain individual has insufficient awareness of themselves and insufficient defenses, then they're the first target. And then, if this isn't the case, meaning that we have, and this would apply to most of our esteemed audience, people with higher awareness and some sort of a practice to keep their energy clean and to protect themselves, then the next way interference and attack would occur would be through the people you care for.
Yeah.
Many, or maybe pets, loved ones, or situations you care for. It's not common to have a whole group of people with up to date defenses and high awareness. Many may not be even very aware of the infinite cosmos and the multidimensional nature of humanity. And so you're the black sheep in the family, you're up, your defenses are strong, you're aware, but they are not. And then they're used against you.
Yeah, I think in that case, because I was going to say you can get attacked accidentally, by the way. If you're living with a lost soul, it needs some energy, so it'll make you have a bit of fear. And if you've got a lot of fear, they'll go for you even more because that's the energy they want. Yeah, if you're targeted because of who you are, and that's because you've gone through the birth system, not a walking like me, then they want you in a low vibe. They'll always want you in a low vibration. So they're not really steal. They can steal your energy, but they're only stealing it to keep you in that fear, low density mode, so you don't hurt them basically in what you know. And
Correct.
I think I actually laugh when people say I'm being attacked. We're all getting attacked. If you're
Yes,
spiritual and you're in the know, we all get attacked. That's part of the job description, I think. It's just the way it
that's
is.
so true. Now,
Yeah.
the purpose of all of this, although at the surface level, this stolen energy, which is then turned into a narcotic, non physical,
Mm,
energetic narcotic, and is given rise to a universal empire. This is one of the commodities that's keeping it going. One of the reasons that Earth is such a mess and it's so difficult. But beyond that, the purpose of the system is the system.
Mm.
So while you're struggling and challenging, the idea is to keep you in the mix for as long as possible. So the original design of the matrix was to make you resilient. If you have any weaknesses in your soul shard, for that to be identified through different scenarios and experiences and challenges. Now it's turned up to 11. So if something results in wasting your valuable time and keeps you in a loop or sends you down a rabbit hole, that's exactly the purpose of it. They've succeeded.
Yeah, it's like this meeting we're having now. This is our 4th meeting on the same subject. Now, the first time my computer wouldn't open for half an hour. Second time Zoom wouldn't open. Third time my dog couldn't walk. And just then, I was it took me 45 minutes to go to a mile and back.
Right.
All this is deliberate to stop our experience, I believe, targeting around us instead of direct at us to stop us
Yes.
doing this. Yeah.
Yes. So it's kind of a difficult situation. Now, this is something that is well known to beings that are evil.
Hmm.
So imagine a very powerful shaman or a light worker who has the forces of nature as an ally. If that evil being comes against nature, they're going to lose. So then the next best thing is going for the people you care for. It sounds really awful. Well, they do it. So sometimes individuals would choose to live in a solitary life. Many do. Throughout history, they have so. Healers, magicians, wizards, they live alone. Precisely for this reason.
Yeah.
People they care for get hit so that they can get attacked, so they can be reached through the heart. This is very common. The vast majority of powerful beings that I have the honor of working with, they've been betrayed, and again through the heart.
Yeah.
You open up, your defenses are down, and that's an easy way in. So we can extend protection to the ones that we love.
Okay, Amir, you can say this now, or because I want to say my experience as a child when I used to get attacked regular.
Please go ahead.
Shall I go ahead with that? Well,
Yes, please.
I used to get attacked with demons when I was about 8 or 9, and it really wrecked my sleep. They didn't want me to sleep, basically. It wrecked everything about me. And I used to get followed a lot. I bet a lot of experience where they're getting followed by what I used to call them was like matrix trolls, I used to call them. And they used to follow me everywhere, but no one could see them. I used to run away from my missus when I was 8 or 9. I still remember it now, up to about 17. And getting attacked at night, I think that the system I created an alarm system on your psychic entry point, which is the back of your neck. So if any being that came into my room, any being that had low density, I used to have an alarm, used to set me off, and that used to wake me up, and I was ready for it then. And then slowly I learned that I've got an angelic side, I've got God's sword, and I used to attack them, which a lot of you can't. So it's out. It's first of all, you've got to identify an area that's a sacred space, whether you create altars, crystal grids out of geometric shapes to stop any attacks in that room. And if you do create I think we mentioned crystal grids where you just program the energy to suck the energy away. And remember, the crystals are your part. They're not part of you, but they're like a being, aren't they? They're like a being.
They're sentient friends and allies.
Yeah.
And you can so crystals are really, really wonderful. They can hold energy or conscious intention. So you just hold them in your hand, give them a blessing and a cleanse, and then you say, okay, I'm giving you this task, and I'm giving you the energy for it.
Yeah, like that one there. That transmutes all dark energy to light energy in a room. That's why it's always done that. That's its job while it's with me.
It just
Nothing.
pulls the heavy energy in and traps it.
Yeah, and then transmutes it to light. It actually converts it to light energy.
Beautiful.
So yeah.
So exactly the same process you can use with any crystal. So
Yeah.
Larger, more elaborate crystals and tiny, tiny little shards of a crystal. You see, size really isn't a thing. It's all about consciousness. So even if you have just a starter kit, a few inexpensive pieces of quartz or whatever other crystal, this can be done. It's a very, very good technique.
I would recommend rock crystal to do it. Anything like a rock crystal, like an emerald here. That's an healer. That wouldn't be as good as a rock crystal, I don't think. Yeah, I think some crystals are better than others, but you've got to pick the ones. But a crystal grid would, because you've got the transforming energy into like a
Yeah. There's the motion, there's circulation of energy inside the grid.
Yeah.
So I suppose the first thing that we would agree on would be good is awareness.
Yeah.
And then creating your sacred space.
Yeah.
So at least in this crazy mess, you're safe and you're not being hit. You're in full strength and top capacity, and then you can deal with what goes on around you.
I'm not sure how I created the alarm. I knew I had to create some sort of alarm system. So we could all create it. I think it's just some ancient knowledge we've got inside us that we can just create. So you could, with intention, think of an alarm in the back of your neck linked to dark energies. I'm sure even just thinking about it, you could do that.
So
Yeah.
you would connect it to the boundaries of your sacred space.
Yeah.
Anything that enters the space or crosses the boundaries would go through an audit.
Yeah.
You can connect that to source. Source will do an audit on this energy coming in, and if it doesn't have the best intentions, then it will trigger your alarm. So this is advanced energy work, but the beauty of it is that every one of us has it.
Yeah.
And so it's really, if you don't do it, that nothing happens. But once you do it, it only takes one attempt. It is then created, and then it'll work for you. People will be pleasantly surprised how effective and powerful these techniques of energy work are.
Yeah, definitely.
So, creation of sacred space. We also did talk, well, now that we're talking about attacks, it's good to remind our audience about the one we did on defense.
Yeah, can I say one thing about the sacred space?
Yes. Please,
remember, just like the Indians say, everything you own is fighting for you. It's got your energy. That will protect you. Your bed will protect you. Especially if it's got made of wood, it will protect you because it's yours basically. You're the ownership of that. So your energy is into that. Your chi energy is into everything you own. So you can set a system with the grid system that the whole room can protect you. Yeah.
Yes.
But obviously don't have mirrors facing mirrors. Yeah.
That's a doozy, opening up portals. Now so having that ownership is good. It has your signature frequency. We can take it to one level up, one level further, with intention.
Yeah.
Giving it that consciousness. So using any inanimate object as a vessel for energy. This is very common. Some substances like crystals are much better at it. And then similar to how different materials have different electrical conductivity. But again, nothing is zero, nothing is useless. So with the object, you could create a grid with the bed, going to the four corners of the bed, just putting your hands there and giving it the same intention. I bless you. I give you the task of raising a force field. You can make it more elaborate, like the astral landscaping we talked about, create sacred fire. Anything that comes in that's not good will burn.
Yeah.
Or maybe you create a castle, energetic castle with guard towers and barbed wire and machine guns and whatnot. Yeah, you can use your imagination. It's your creation after all. Unlike
The other
physical
thing,
reality.
yeah, the other thing is get to know what's protecting you, like a pet. Let us say hello to your crystals. How are you
Yes,
doing? Yeah.
yes, 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 yes. And also remember, like yourself, when you would from time to time benefit from an energy car wash, so with the
Mm.
crystals, they get saturated, poor things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Have you got the pentagon I gave you to hand?
yes, I do.
Yeah. Well, that's made of leather, and
Yes,
I've put my protection energy into that because
beautiful,
I've made it all, and will protect. So not only is the symbols protecting, it's what's inside it. It's protecting. Yeah. I
beautiful.
think I've given Rob a couple of them, by the way. I think he needed it. Yeah. Okay.
So now, should we perhaps move on to how we can protect the people we care for?
Mm.
Well, this is more challenging because everybody has free will, and this is
Mhm.
something that we absolutely must respect.
Yeah.
Sometimes going through hardship will teach the person the lesson that they absolutely need, and so we don't want to deny them that wisdom.
Mm.
So the best way would be just to ask for their permission, saying that I want to do a blessing and a protection so evil cannot reach you. Is this okay with you?
Mm.
Most cases people will say yes. And so this is very common. Even in the mainstream religions, people may come and offer to pray for you. I never say no.
Mm.
Although the forum, the surface level of our beliefs may be different, but if they're connecting to the source of all things, which often they are, that is good.
Mm.
So asking them for permission, if they're children, then they are under your care and you have the authority and the moral responsibility to protect them. So that is
Yeah.
easier.
When I was getting targeted, they got my wife with cancer, but my daughter saw a shape-shifting demon. My son saw a black shadow at the same time. So you think, do I defend that one? Do I defend that one? Now I'd know how to do it. I would use what did you call it? The roots, the spirits uh, of the plants, and
Yes.
obviously you got to connect, doing some sacred ceremony, uh, and get to know the plants, and then they would bind any dark attacks, and the binding would stop them attacking them, but it would disintegrate or dissolve when they stop doing it. So you could do that on all your very close family, basically. Yeah.
And like most cases, preventing harm is easier, cheaper, and faster than undoing harm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I suppose before one gets targeted, it would be good to, again, quote unquote, pray or quote unquote manifest
Mm.
their protection and their well being.
Mm.
Because you may think of it in a different way. If they get hit or targeted because of you, that's not nice either.
Yeah.
And so, if we can do something to prevent this and make sure that they are not targeted or interfered with in a way that is not going to teach them any wisdom, it's just nonsense for the sake of nonsense. If this can be prevented, we must do it.
Yeah. Definitely. Hmm.
I'm going to share a very effective method which is used by, let's say, the militaries of the world. It's called frequency hopping. So if you've got using one channel, an enemy can tune in and begin hearing your communications, and then they've got a way to decrypt it. But if you're on this channel, then you're here, then you're here, then you're here, and you keep moving at a really, really rapid rate, there's not enough to observe, and you're not there long enough to be interfered with. So with the same logic, you can create a bubble, a protective bubble around your energy signature, and give it all the protection that you have, and then add to the conditions of its creation that it's going to pop in and out in an infinite number of realities, so fast that you cannot be observed or interfered with. You have the keys to turn it off and on if you wish. Now, interesting that as a remote viewer, as an intuitive, once a friend or a client activates this, I can't see their energy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they grant me permission, boop, again it comes into my mind's eye and they're perceivable. So this is something all of us can use. See, spreading this costs me nothing, and it will save a lot of people a lot of trouble.
Do you know why I'm smiling? Because I was going to give a suggestion that's similar. But not quite.
We're
Yeah,
tapping into the same river.
this is probably a bit more darker, but not that dark. It's a double bubble.
Oh, okay.
The first bubble is the trigger. It triggers source energy coming through and triggers the mirror. But once it gets triggered, it's solid and the mirror's there. And basically what it's doing with the source energy, it's grounding anything, any energies that it's attacking. So it's like a double bubble. And the first one is the trigger, starts the mirror going, you'd get mirrored, mirrors block, and then source energy just grounds it into earth.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So I don't think it's dark, really, is it? It's just
it's source energy.
Yeah.
Whatever is. That's nobody can complain.
Mm.
It's righteous divine justice.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of connecting to source. And as human beings, we have impurities. This is not out of evil. It just is what is. And so sometimes these impurities mess up our manifestation.
Yeah.
So you may bring in lots of conditions, make it really, really, really specific. Once it actually comes in, it's manifest, all the boxes are ticked, and then there's one nasty surprise that kind of ruins the whole thing. As if the universe has a dark sense of humor.
Mm.
But when you connect to source with this type of expression, beloved source, I've got impurities, but I love purely. Please consider I've asked for everything correctly. Now you do it for me.
Yeah.
What comes in is mind-boggling. Out of what you would ever imagine, much better. So yes, I'm a great advocate of connection to source and using that type of energy. Beautiful.
The other way is if you create a pyramid outside your home using crystals with intention, and this crystal makes the home invisible, basically. Yeah, so you put them in, you set intentions. I think it's always intentions. The other one, I'm giving all the secrets today. Create Saint Germain's flame in plant form into your structure of your house, and it grows its roots into all the building. So it transmutes any negative energy there, and it stops any coming in. So,
Oh yes.
yeah.
We must not forget about the land that we are living on.
Yeah.
Many places have history.
Mm.
Sometimes the history is kind of neutral. There's been a village, and then on the village there's a city, and now the city is larger, so it's okay, but still you may have earthbound spirits. Certain places are much different. There's been war or bloodshed, or maybe it's a sacred burial ground. Right? We've got this kind of stuff, especially in the States, lots of recent war in the past 2 centuries. And construction team comes in, they have no idea, they're doing their job, they build the building, but then there are energetic effects there. And it's really, really easy to make peace with the earth.
Mm.
It's basically claiming your innocence, that I had no hand in what went down. I have great empathy and I send you blessings, and here's a little offering of flowers, of salt, of tobacco, something like that. It's all symbolic.
Even the ley lines as well. If you've got a dark ley line, and they can be dark because you don't know what's the past been like, and you're
Yeah.
living, your home is on top of it. Can I mention about you just brought back a memory. I had a business, and I was working one day, and out comes up through the wall a knight on an horse, silver,
Mhm.
lovely night gear. And I saw it, and a colleague saw it, and someone else saw it, and it just walked straight through the wall and walked down the thing. And it's obviously a memory of the ground,
Yeah.
and that was called Reddish in Stockport. Used to be called Red Ditch because of a Cromwell
Mhm.
battleground, and where I was working was a Cromwell battleground. So these aren't evil spirits; they're memories in the soil that's just
Mhm.
showing itself now and again. But it's quite fascinating to watch. Yeah,
Wow, absolutely. Now,
yeah,
so for our wonderful audience, all this stuff that we spoke of, you can then, with permission, do for the people you love.
mm,
You do it once, and then for as long as they live, they are protected. And so are
yeah,
you. Before I found this out, so many close friendships I had were affected in a negative way by this
hmm,
approach. So the other person wasn't spiritual, or just really at the beginning of their journey, kind of interested but not dedicated like I. And they would get hit.
mm.
And then you see it coming. Once it's coming, you just got to put your shields up. There's nothing left to do. But
The,
if
the
you
yeah, the other thing is, why are you getting attacked? It's a lot of times it's because your fear. Your fear. They can get away with it. What you should realize is you're more powerful than any of them beings.
correct.
Far, far more powerful. Yeah.
There's also the case that many powerful beings are targeted or attacked to prevent them from doing what they have come to Earth to
Yeah.
perform,
Yeah.
preventing them from completing their mission.
Mm.
I think this would be more applicable to our wonderful audience.
Yeah.
You're powerful. If you were free and in your full power, the world would be a better place. There would be no room for imbalance, this
Mm.
madness that we see. So many reasons may exist. Sometimes it's just someone wants to come against you. Other practitioners doing psychic warfare or black magic or that kind of thing.
Mm.
Again, the approach of the bubble that I suggested, or the double mirror bubble that Philip suggested. Oh, that's effective. Now, if
Mm.
you can also send it back to where it's coming from.
Yeah.
You recognize that it's an intrusion, it's not your energy, and you quite simply say, no, thank you.
What I've done, I've warned the people who have attacked me. I've given them one warning, and I've even people might think there was someone really powerful, a medicine man, and I took a little bit of soul energy and I said, I can do this just as well as you can. I'll give it you back. Don't come back. And they don't, because all of a sudden they think, someone, someone knows what they're doing. And
Right.
sometimes you got to fight fire with fire. Sometimes you have to. What I do like is these events here, we get targeted. It means I can stay in bed and let them come to me. I don't have to hunt for them. So, yeah.
Another thing that can be done is transmutation of energy.
Hmm.
So, once we reach a stage where we can change our own vibration at will, the energy of the attack can be transmuted.
Yeah.
So, from a negative, you turn it into a positive, and
Hmm.
energy is energy. So, there we go. So, you
Yeah.
use the energy of the attack, transmute it, and use it to boost your shield even further.
Or another times, if it's beings, send them love. They can't stand love. So, Yeah.
That's interesting. So there's so many approaches that can be
Mm.
taken. Philip, you mentioned a lot of times this would be trying to extract fear. That is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
There's a link to the hormones, the epinephrine that is produced by the kidneys and glands around there. That's a very potent narcotic also. If they
Mm.
can get you frightened, that's the most delicious type of drug that they can extract from a human energy.
Yeah.
So
And
not feeling it.
and if they can get inside you, they get the codex, then they've won. They've got you.
Yeah. And
And
then they
me
know
and you
what
would,
button to push.
yeah, me and
Yeah.
you would have very difficult if you've given your codex free will. It's so hard to extract that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they're underage, unless they're under 16, then it becomes a bit of a battle. Then, yeah.
Yeah. The adrenaline
Mm.
that is secreted, that is a recipe for some very potent stuff. So, not fearing, the fear is worse than the harm.
Mm.
The fear is worse than the damage and pain.
Yeah.
So it kind of becomes trauma based control.
Mm.
It's very common, not just amongst humans, amongst many domesticated animals. When they're small, they are hit with a roll of toilet paper.
Mm.
And then you see the animal grow into a massive lion, and then the lion is still afraid of the roll of toilet paper.
If you got a big job here, they'll try and find your weak point, like
Yeah,
your kryptonite, whether it's alcohol, drugs, gambling. They'll try and find that, and if they find it, they'll push it so it's good at the beginning. So
yeah,
if you have drug, you'll get great experiences. If you have if you're gambling, you'll win a lot, and it's all to get them into you. And then one day you are at the lowest, and you might just wish them in. And these beings, sometimes you are selected by certain beings, so it's a bit like their job to make sure you go down, basically. Yeah, which
yes.
I've had that. Mm, yeah.
So, awareness, preempting the attack and making sure your defenses are up, taking care of the people, of the beings, the animals, trees, everything that you care for. What else? Oh,
There's a,
technology.
Yeah, there's a biggie that I'll do after your technology one. Yeah, very
Well,
big one.
technology gets hit quite frequently. This
Yeah.
is this is now becoming a known thing that whenever something really, really powerful is about to go down, interference starts.
Mm.
And so computers start malfunctioning, software doesn't load correctly, it doesn't record correctly, all that kind of stuff occurs. So
Mm.
it seems that the unseen world has the ability to interfere with electronics and technology.
I'll give you an example. I was doing really well, money was coming in, everything really good, and then my machine got. No, one day I had 7 machines get attacked in the same day. But on this certain day last year, one machine, in the end, it started getting affected, and I knew it was that I was being attacked because I was getting in a really good vibe, if you get what I mean. So what I found out, I asked me and Sophie, we did 4 frequencies: Archon, Demon, Reptilian, and Grey. So we had these 4 frequencies, and I was playing them, and I got it going. I got the machine going just playing them frequencies. Yeah. So I had the machine going for a day, and then it went down properly. It cost me £3,000. So you can imagine that's a lot of money for me. So in the end, we grouped the 4 together. Then we added on Sanskrit mantras. Then we added numbers, 1000, where people say. Then we had Tibetan chants. We added church bells, and we added all the frequencies we could find. In the end, we've got 900 frequencies in there. And I tell you what, playing that frequency in a room lifts the vibration, because all the dark either gets transmuted, even the dark energies in your cells start vibrating out. And Is that what we were talking about? But I wanted to say that sometimes you've got to find the frequency. Frequency can help clear a room and protect you. Yeah.
So the just the use of crystals and grids and putting up boundaries, that would be passive defense.
Mm,
An active defense would be creating your energetic bubble, whether it's just flipping in and out of reality or you using mirrors or maybe more types of aggressive defenses. That's completely up to you. But then embodying certain cleansing energies, like the energy of Kali or the Vajrakila, the energy of the void. So the cleansing fire of source.
yeah.
That is the ultimate.
Yeah. That's serious,
Very
Callie.
serious. Yeah. This is something for the dedicated person. Because if you want to become the wielder of the divine fire, you must become a resident of it.
Yeah.
Meaning, first and foremost, you're going to get purified. Now, although this is not easy, but it's absolutely worth it. Personally, I wish to know if there are any impurities within me, if there's any trauma that's unhealed, any shadow that needs to come to the surface. So this worked really well for me. So you just use a series of mantras, the Kali mantra, Om Krim Kalyai Nama, Om Kapalinaya Nama, Om Hrim Shrim Krim Parameshvari Kalike Swaha. And you have to repeat this plus 10,000 times. So you can't just expect to say a mantra and for it to work. If you have put nothing in it, nothing will come out. You need that investment of energy to begin with, to break through all the layers of distortion, reach the pure source of the energy. But then you will be purified when there are no weaknesses in you. So the Buddhists look at it in a very interesting way. There is no karmic reason for certain things to occur, meaning you're balanced out. There's no pull to get the holographic reality to create certain scenarios for you. That's what this does. The Buddhists also absolutely use the energy of Kali. So there are many examples like this, or even better, connect directly to source that is already available to all of us, and ask to be purified by the beloved source of all things. If there are no weaknesses in you, if there's no sore spot, nobody can poke at it. It's all strong. Your defenses are powerful all around. There's no chink in your armor. And so this is preempting.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm learning a mantra at the moment by the Anusazi beings before Atlantis, and that one is Shaddai Iore Akum Ton, and what that does, that's an art chakra activation. But as you say, you've got to breathe into the art. You've got to feel it in your art, and you've got to do it so many times it becomes you basically. Yeah. So I'm trying to learn that at the moment. So
wonderful.
yeah.
So these are very effective approaches. And then the interesting thing is that you will go by your daily life. Everybody else may be complaining that the energies are heavy, that things are going upside down. You look at your own reality and it seems to be calm and pristine. Nothing can enter your bubble. If not for others, you'd never know something was up. So others will be coming, and so share these techniques with people you care for, please. Wonderful, wonderful ladies and gentlemen. They'll definitely work for you. They worked for us. And just spread the word. If we're all immune, the evil beings will starve out.
I've got the last, what I think is the last one, and that is people who are very, very spiritual connect to beings that are not what they seem. Yep. I've had two examples. One where I wanted to look at the Morse child, and at the healing centre, the woman put a hand to my third eye and said, Archangel, whatever it was, forbids you to find the child. Now, what is actually wrong with the words? No, we are we are sovereign beings, and no being outside here will tell us what to do. We have got free will, and all my energy got sucked out. I was healing someone after who became ill. It took me 3 days to get my energy back, and then I realized that, hold on, this was a demon that was pretending to be an archangel, and I banned her from coming to the center. And I told the demon, I actually sent the signal, you won't be coming here again, or it'll be trouble. She never came again. She'd been coming for years, she never came again. And another one, and this is a person recently met. She used to be into witchcraft, and she said that Jesus came to her with her own eyes and told her to stop doing witchcraft and start believing in the source and all that, and to worship me. And they're the two things that's wrong. Number one, they wouldn't tell you what to do. Number two, no God needs worshipping. We are prime creators. So they're the signs. So there's a lot of beings that get attacked that way, like an undercover demon pretending to be
deception. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have to be you have to scrutinize what is being said,
Yeah.
the nature of the energy that's coming in. So witchcraft is the worship of the beloved source and giving reverence and respect to nature.
Yeah.
All our ancestors did this. Were they all wrong? I think not.
No.
Again, as you said, Philip, source does not command worship or sacrifice or the giving of your energy. It's source. It doesn't need it. And it's most likely there's some sort of parasitic being pretending to be something that it is not, just to get into your energy, get a taste, or maybe get a whole lot of energy.
The clue there is, if you're doing witchcraft, you're doing black witchcraft, she was doing black witchcraft, and all of a sudden Christ comes in and tells you not to do that. Well, why is he all of a sudden identified you? It's because you are dealing with these beings, and all of a sudden this one being wants to have you all for himself. Because obviously black magic can, you don't ask for one sort of demon or dark being to do the bidding. Loads will try and gain the contract, won't they? Loads.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, calling to source. That is most certainly the best way of dealing with this. The real source, the source of all sources.
Yeah.
So once you connect to the real thing, anything that is not true will be illuminated. And so then you can take appropriate steps to disentangle from this. But again, source is love, source is grace, source is joy, source is life, elegance, harmony, beauty, all that stuff. And moving towards source, that is evolution. So if the frequency is anything other than that, you got to think twice.
The other thing, a lot of people say we're one. We're not one. We're part of one. We're the part of that one. No, we're not one. Yeah.
Yes.
It's something I wanted. Yeah, it's something I believe anyway. Yeah, so interesting, this subject.
Absolutely. So I think this was a short and sweet recovery, let's say, session where we broke through the interference and we finally did it. So interesting topic too. All the techniques that we talked about are absolutely effective. It's not something we've read in a book. We've used it. We know it's valued. We know that it is true. So please use it. May it serve you well.
And what we can do, me and Amir, we can send you protection codes, can't we? From source. From source,
yes.
Yeah. That'd be quite.
Away what doesn't belong and boosting defenses. Yes.
Yeah. Just one other thing I wanted to say is I don't channel any other beings apart from my aspects, the past lives I've been, and I connect with Kali Ma and some of the angels, but very rarely. and the Andromeda starseed. So I've selected a few, but I don't just do willy-nilly because you don't know who you're picking up. You can pick any old being up. Yeah. Are we going to do it sound healing and sending?
Yes.
So we're going to send protection codes from source. That sounds good. I think I need that myself. Do we need? So there you go.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was lovely that sounded different, didn't it? Yeah.
So, wonderful ladies and gentlemen, we love you. Thank you for being here, and we'll continue very soon, probably this weekend. We'll have our next one, getting back on schedule. I hope this recent wave of turbulence wasn't too difficult on you. The good news is the universe is a better place for it. And we're all here. Seems no casualties.
I think the time is right. These times are very, very sacred times. So
yes.
expect attacks. If you're being attacked, it means you're doing your job.
Agreed. If you were not extraordinary, you wouldn't be worth the effort. That is true.
Yeah.
With the limited resources left for evil, if they're spending lots of resources on you, that should tell you something.
The other thing I wanted to say is, remember, we are dark and light beings. We're both dark and light, balanced, but Earth isn't balanced, and that's why we're here. So
spot on. Okay.
Yeah.
Take care, Philip. This was great. Okay.
Have a good week. What's left of it?
Take care. All the best. Bye bye.
Thanks, then. Bye.